All right, welcome back. We continue #1 Cochran Sports Showdown, and we are talking about the draft, which just concluded. The Steelers have made their selection, 6 of them, by far the fewest they've had, really, since probably 2003. Andrew, I want to ask you about this kid, Alex Highsmith. Now, he played at UNC Charlotte, the 49ers, not exactly a Power 5 conference. However, he put up big numbers after being converted. Obviously, they needed somebody there to take over eventually for Bud Dupree. Do you like this pick, or do you think they should have gone more of a Power 5 conference, much like the Ravens did with a lot of their choices?
I was okay with it, Bob. I mean, I'm of the opinion that Bud Dupree is a creation, a byproduct of TJ Watt. And so if this guy's raw because he went to a small school, James Harrison went to Kent State. I mean, you find guys who didn't exactly go to the Clemsons and Alabamas and Marylands, I guess, too, of the world, now that that's such a football factory, now that Tomlin's kid in Canada came from there. But I'm okay with the pick because it's not this year, it's for next year. He takes Anthony Chickalo's job in 2020, but then in 2021 he plays for real.
I'm not a big fan of this pick. I think he's going to be the next Tyler Matakevich. I know you said Bud Dupree. I think he's Tyler Matakevich replacement. I also think he potentially could be the next Sutton Smith. I mean, you're taking a very productive guy from a small school, a small conference, and now you're putting him on an NFL team. I know he has good stats. You know, he did well. He's fast and he projects well, but he didn't get one Division I offer. He had to walk on to Charlotte. I just don't see it there with him. I wasn't enamored with that pick at all, and I think he could have been there way later in this draft. I thought it was a reach where they got him.
That's possible.
You know, you can look at the other way, too, and look at a guy like Javon Hargrave, went from South Carolina State, where he was a defensive lineman with 33 sacks, and people said, well, how's he going to do that in the NFL? He turned out to be a pretty good player, so who knows at this point? It's hard to judge it. However, one thing I saw that I didn't see, which is I thought we might see, was a quarterback going to the Steelers. And Andrew, I know I'll put your Jameis Winston thing on hold for a second, but Rich, I mean, they had Jake Fromm in the 5th round. When you get to the 5th or 6th, 7th round, to me, if you're going to have a need for a quarterback, or at least somebody who many people thought would go higher than that, did they make a mistake not going for somebody at that level?
No, I don't think they made a mistake at all. I didn't think they should draft a quarterback in this draft. Wasn't a big fan of any one of those guys. Maybe if Jacob Eason would have fell to like the 5th round, you may take a flyer on him because he's a project-type quarterback. I'm not a big fan of Jake Fromm, and there's a reason. Not too many teams were. He lasted until the 5th round. But, hey, if you would have traded down further in the 2nd round and got an extra 4th and maybe or 5th or whatever, you could have got this guy. I'm glad they didn't draft a quarterback. Maybe I know Pony thinks they need a quarterback, but I kind of like this quarterback room right now. The Steelers say they like it, and they're going to go with Mason Rudolph as their backup as of right now.
Well, I don't like their quarterback room at all, but Bob, as far as late-round picks go, I'm going to give you a prediction right now. I think Dotson's going to be the best player to come out of the Steelers draft class. I know they love him. If you go to our website, 937thefan.com, I mocked him to the Steelers in the 6th round. I knew they loved him. They pushed for him to be at the Combine. He was the first non-Combine player. They've loved this guy for a while. And I'm surprised they picked him in the 4th. They probably figured without a 5th-round pick, he wouldn't be there for them in the 6th. But I'm telling you right now, Bob, I think he's going to end up being a starter for them. I think he's going to have a Ramon Foster-esque career for the Steelers, and I wouldn't say that about anybody else they drafted. I think he will be a long-term starter on the offensive line.
I tend to agree with that. All right, and it was something they needed as well. Now it's time to go around the horn. This week's Smooth Moves brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier, the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz you're going to find anywhere. You want a countertop, go to Armina Stone. Rich, your Smooth Move of the week.
I'm going to give my smooth move to former Pine Richland star Ben DiNucci. He got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. He's going to get a shot in the NFL. So my smooth moves goes to Ben DiNucci. No one in the world thought he was going to get drafted, and the Cowboys take him as their backup quarterback.
Who's the Cowboys head coach again, Richie? Look, I'll stay with the draft theme, gentlemen. Dane Jackson to the Buffalo Bills. Love that pick. Gil Brandt, the Hall of Fame Cowboys architect, said before the start of round 4, Jackson's the best guy on the board. He's in the Hall of Fame. Buffalo's had great success. Tre'Davious White at corner. I think Dane Jackson will be a starting player in the NFL. Richie, I like Pitt guys. I might not be a Pitt man. I didn't get a diploma from there, but I know him when I see him. Dane Jackson's a good football player.
He is, and he may be one of the sleepers, and so is Geno Stone, a guy who ends up in the 7th round. Could be a steal of the 7th round for the Ravens. We're going to talk about the Ravens and the Browns and the Bengals next. But Armina Stone is Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Check them out. Smooth moves, always at Armina Stone. AFC North next.